And we are live. Hello, land investors. Paul and Willie G here. And tonight we are going to be talking about why people sell us land at below market prices. Why do people sell us land at below market prices?
There are a number of different reasons. Before we get into it, we want to mention if you guys are interested in starting in the land investing business, please visit landinvestingpros.com, find out more information about what we have to offer. Yeah, what do you think?
I think I want to wait till a few more people come on the live. They're coming in hot right now.
All right, that sounds good. I'm not logged in, so I can't see anyone. I don't know why I got logged out, but I'm not going to be able to see comments. I'll pull it up on my phone. But if there's any questions throughout the live or just anything that you guys want us to answer, please just put in the chat or the comments. However, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're listening, please add any comments or questions you'd like answered. Happy to address anything on topic or off topic. Would love to interact with some of you guys and yeah, anything that you guys got going on either. What's going on in your land business? So, yeah, what do you think, Paul? I don't know. I can't see how many people are on, or if we've got people on, or anything along those lines. But
well, they're starting to come. I'm trying to see just to make sure. In fact, we are live on both pages. Oh, Sharon Gordon Smith. All right, we are live here. So let's see if I can pin this. I don't know how to pin it, but anyways. Yeah, so why do people sell us land? So I think we should just go back and forth with different reasons why. So I would say I'll give one and then you give one and then we'll go back and forth. So I would say the first reason why people sell us land is because they don't want to pay taxes on it. And let's unpack that.
Yeah, so land is an interesting niche in real estate where it doesn't really produce any income because you can't really, for the most part, you don't really rent it out to people. You're not really getting people living on it and paying you monthly rent like you would with an apartment building, like you would with a storage unit, like you would with other types of real estate. So it's in a way a lot less attractive for an owner. In some ways, it's actually to our benefit that it is this way because they don't really receive any income on it, and when they own lands, they have to pay taxes year after year after year. And not only the taxes, if it's in an HOA or any other improvement association, then they have to, generally speaking, pay some dues, pay some fees. So it doesn't. It's also not guaranteed to appreciate over time. People don't really know how to value it. It's kind of realtors won't give it a very accurate opinion on it, so no one really knows if the property is appreciating or if it's cash. It's not doing anything for them. So when someone is receiving their tax bill twice a year and it says you got to pay $50, $100, $200, whatever it is, that can be a little bit of a nuisance for someone, especially if they don't realize that they're earning anything for the property or it's appreciating. So that is, I think, what you're alluding to here.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to talk about like a pretty common scenario that we see. And so, for example, let's say that a relative of yours died. God forbid one of your relatives dies, and they have a 48, or let's call it a 5-acre parcel in the middle of New Mexico. Outside of Albuquerque. I don't know. I don't really know any cities in New Mexico. Let's say Silver City, New Mexico, middle of nowhere. They left you, they died, and they said, William, I leave you this 5-acre parcel in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico. Okay, great. I have a piece of property. Well, you living in Chicago, you're never going to go out to New Mexico, are you?
No.
Right. So now you have this amazing property that you've never been to in the middle of New Mexico that you're never going to do anything with because you have no ties or relation to New Mexico. But now you own this property because your relative left it to you. And now you're just paying taxes year after year after year. You don't know anything about the New Mexico real estate market. You know, the average Joe isn't that interested in the real estate market in New Mexico. So you're going to do the easiest possible thing. If someone sends you a piece of paper in the mail that says, "Hey, I'll give you $5,000 for this. You don't have to do anything except for sign this paper. I'll give you a check next week." You're probably going to do it.
Right, right. So I think you're mixing a couple different things into
Yeah,
here.
I
So I think you
definitely
mixed
am.
three different reasons in there. So one is the taxes; they're paying taxes on it. Two is they inherited it; they didn't never even invested in the property in the first place, so they never even analyzed the market. They never understood the value of land ownership. And three, they don't really have any intention of doing anything with it for whatever reason. Maybe they at some point intended to, or um, they wanted to use it as a retirement place to go to, or recreationally, but for whatever reason, they didn't really use it. So let's unpack those next two. So one is the inheritance, and how often do we see inheritance property? How often do we buy those, Paul?
I can't put an exact percentage on it because I, I mean, Chris and Andrew are dealing with that on a day-to-day basis. So I don't really have a percentage. And I know, when you were running the whole show by yourself before we partnered up, you probably looked at more deeds than most people. What percent would you say, or trust, whatever, like what percent would you say? I can't give you a good number because I haven't looked at enough, but I know that you have.
Yeah.
Well,
So I would say a lot of properties are in trust. They've been handed down, and buying properties from trust is very, very common. So, um, yeah, and that's a situation where there's a clean title transfer, and the successor trustee often sells the property, and that's pretty frequent. And or it went through probate properly, and you could buy it in that case. A lot of times you do get leads and people who are of people who want to sell their property. They were in the will of a deceased person who is granting them the property. However, it didn't go properly through probate. So if you include all of those, including the
Well,
probate ones, it's
can you, after you tell the percentage, can you tell everyone what, like, for maybe someone that's, not done land investing before or thinking about doing land investing, can you explain what probate is and how it works and why they should avoid probate properties?
yeah, yeah. So what I would say is, like, if you include the properties that are in probate, so I'm just saying the general number of leads, I'd honestly say between 25 and 33%. I don't know. I'm coming up with numbers, quarter to a third. Properties are the sellers are interested because they inherited a property in some way, shape, or form. And so I would say up to a third of the leads can be from this type of situation. So it's very, very common. And so in the reason you might want to avoid some of these probate issues is because a lot of
What is
times,
probate?
sure. So if if John Doe owns a property and he passes away and he wants to, his daughter Jane Doe is in his will, and he's transferring the property in his will to Jane Doe. But in order for the property to properly transfer title, it needs to go through the probate process in order for the title to transfer at the county, and in order for clean title to remain with Jane. So in order to do so, you need to hire an attorney. It takes, call it 4 to 6 months. In some cases, it can be even longer than that. And it's not only that, but you got to pay those attorney fees. So it's going to be time consuming, and it's going to be costly. So those are two reasons you want to avoid it. And you can't buy the property from Jane Doe until it goes through this 4 to 6 month process, and because it's going to still be in the person's name who the person who owned the property previously, who passed away. So at the county, they won't accept the deed, and title will not be cleanly transferred until probate is the probate process has been gone through and everything has been done properly. So that's what probate is. The reason to avoid it is because it's timely and it's costly. And if you're dealing with most property, if you're buying at the cheaper end, is probably not going to be worth it. It's going to hit your margin, and deals are going to not be nearly as profitable anymore. So that's kind of why it is what it is, and why I generally avoid those situations.
I gotcha. And if anyone has any questions along the way, feel free to ask. Here's a few. Sharon Gordon Smith, how are you?
How's it going, Sharon?
Luke Mampuya. Do you know Luke?
Yeah, good evening, Luke. I talked to Luke on Sunday. So
Okay.
hope everything's good, Luke.
Kevin Pierney. What's up, Kev?
How's it going, Kevin?
Dusty. Hey, Dusty.
How you doing, Dusty?
And then we have an
Got a nice
honorable.
little crew on.
What's that?
So we got a nice little crew on tonight.
No, we got Mika, but he's kind of got a question that's not related. So
All right. Well, we could. What do you want to do? Address it or address it after?
we'll address it after.
Okay. If
Here's
anyone's got any other questions, please
what's up,
comment now. We'll get to those in just a second.
McLean
Um,
today.
McLean, yeah. So we're on the same page there. McLean, are you a current land investor? Or are you in real estate in a different niche? I'm just curious. What experience with probate do you have? And I guess
Look at this.
why do you hate it as much as we do?
He just had a seller pass away one day before we received the CTC.
Ouch.
Yikes.
That's not ideal. That's not what you want.
I remember when we first started, when Andrew was trying to, do you remember that deal where the guy was like, the guy like was about to die, and then like Andrew was trying to get the notary to go into the hospital. Do you remember that deal?
Yeah.
I don't remember all the details, but Andrew was like insistent that the notary force their way into the hotel or the hospital so that we could get the deal. Did we end up, I don't think we got the deal, right?
I think we did. I think did he have a power of attorney? I can't remember.
I don't remember. That was when we first started though, but I'll never forget that story. That was a funny one.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So McLean does houses and land. I remember McLean maybe about a month ago, he kind of dove into his story a little bit. He was messing with land with developers. He's not a current student, but he was interested. But yeah, so he's doing houses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're starting to dabble a little bit in land in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's a pretty interesting market.
Yep.
Here's a probate question, Willie, for you. Is there a threshold for going through probate? What price would you say it's worth taking a lot through probate? We should bring Crazy Carl on the show, and he could talk all about probate.
Yeah, so I would say you just got to weigh more of the issue is the time frame for me. If it was just a cost thing, you could just build it into your margin. And if you got enough margin, the deal is worth it. But it's just the time frame, 46, sometimes longer months.
Just think about how many
really
do.
Yeah, if you get a committed seller and you get the deal under contract and you know what you can sell it for and there's enough margin in there, it'd be a case-by-case basis for me. I'd say just bake in $3,000 to $5,000 in attorney fees and just general circumstance. And if you're buying a property, call $5,000 and so just assume your cost is gonna be $10,000. If you think you could sell it for 50, that's a good deal. If you could sell for 30, that's still a good deal. If it doesn't cost you, if the seller is going to pay for the probate, that's another thing that you would need to negotiate. Like, who's paying the money out of cost for the probate? Is it the seller? Is it you? So those are just some things to think about. If you could negotiate the seller to pay for it, there's really no risk to you. If you pay for the probate, it could still be worth it. But there just needs to be enough margin in there. So I'd say it just has to be an above average deal, and there's got to be tens of thousands of profit in there, at least 10,000, if not more.
And I would also say, and I did a podcast about this last week or 2 weeks ago about all the different ways that you can make money in the land business. And so we know a guy we're in a group called the Collective Genius, which is like it's like a high level real estate mastermind group. And there's a guy in the group who all he does is he specializes in hairy deals. Like that's his business, is like he'll go after the deals that no one's willing to do, these probate deals. What are some of the type of deals he does? Like, but this just goes back to like, there's so many different ways to make money. If you want to specialize in probate and take on all those headaches, there's money to be made. But again, you got to focus on one thing and focus on what you're good at. And for us, we'd rather just do a bunch of deals. And that's why we send out so much mail, so that we're not stuck with like, oh, we only had 2 deals from this mailer and one of them's a probate, but we need these 2 properties, so we're just going to have to go ahead and do it. Yeah. So you could specialize in probate if you want to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to specialize in it.
Recommend it though. Would not recommend it.
I just don't. Of course you could make money doing it, but like, there's just so much opportunity elsewhere. It's not like the space is uber competitive. where maybe like houses might be. Like there's so many deals to be had, and there's in my view, it just doesn't make sense to specialize it, because I think that's just another hurdle for you to get around and learn. There's a learning curve to get up when you don't need to go up that learning curve. I think it's better to work smart, not hard, and I think that would be working pretty hard, just to kind of try to figure out those niches. And I'm sure you could do it and you could do well. It's just how scalable is it? What's the opportunity? I just grabbed the low hanging fruit.
Sure. Here's one more death question for you, Willie. I guess title question. Wife and husband on title. Husband passed away last month. Do I just need the death certificate, do I just need the death certificate and she can be the only signer? This is a classic Willie question.
Wife and husband on title. Husband passed last month. Do I need the death cert and she could be the only signer? So yeah, it depends if it's in a community property state or not. If it's in a community property state, then you might just need an affidavit of death of spouse, an affidavit of heirship, one of those things. And there might just be, it's probably a one-page form from the county. I'd call the county recorder and just be like, what form needs to be completed in order to transfer title from when one of the spouses passed away. But just check. I mean, you can Google like Kansas community property state, whatever state you're operating in. Just check that. That's a quick check, and that should be able to. You should be able to close that deal if it is. If it's not, then it might be a little bit tough.
Okay, I think that's enough on title stuff for now.
Okay.
We get more questions. We have a lot of questions here. Do we want to continue talking about why people sell us land, or address these questions? They're all over the board.
Yeah, let's answer questions. I like interacting with people.
Okay, great. Oh wow. Dang, I missed a bunch. 1 second, guys. We got a lot of people on tonight. Way more than normal. Facebook user, I don't know your name. Please tell us your name. Evening, fellas. Sending out my first mailer this weekend. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
This is Jeremy Wayne Chapman. I'm looking at my phone.
All right, Jeremy. Hit it hard. How big a mailer are you doing?
There you go, Jeremy. We like taking action in this group.
Yeah, here's Dusty who wants to take action. Hi, Willie. I'd like to hear more about the deal partnering.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about that now or later? That's your favorite thing.
Yeah, well, the deal partnering, I just think it's a great way to get started, because it is literally just work with me. I help you with the most important aspects of the mailer. So choosing your market, building your list, pricing your list, and then reviewing every deal that comes through on the mailer. So, and then one of the deals will be deal partnering, and then the rest are just profit for you. So you fund the mailer, you fund the marketing costs of everything you're going to do normally, and you get most of the upside. And so, yeah, I mean, I just think like the goal of the thing is to make money and learn, and and I guarantee that we do some deals. Otherwise, we together will send out more mail until we do buy deals and you do make money. And I will continue to send out mail with you until you do make money. So I'm guaranteeing that you make money. Otherwise, I'm going to continue working with you until you make money. So, I mean, that's really what it is. It's just like work with me, learn my process.
The thing pays for itself. Because
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It just pays for itself. And yeah, if you're interested, please, you can message me, Willie, WILLIE at landinvestingpros.com if it's something you're interested in.
It's a no-brainer. Like, for example, when I started my Amazon business 4 years ago, if there was someone that said, hey, you can work directly with me and I'll help you find your first product and I'll guarantee you that you're going to be successful with that product. So Willie's guaranteeing that you will send out a mailer and get a property. Like, why wouldn't you do it? You're going to learn from someone that's bought over 1,000 properties. So I think it's a no-brainer. But anyways, let's go back to the questions. Jim Spinoza. If you had only 10 hours a week to put into the land business, which pieces of the business would you hire out to contractors and what would you keep for yourself? I love this question. I would. Well, I'm going to tell you what I would do, and then let's see what Willie would do.
Sure.
What?
Sure.
Okay, so what I would do is I would only handle picking new markets and reviewing properties, and I would find someone to do the sales, find someone to do all the closings, find someone to do everything except for your two highest dollar activities, which is picking new markets and improving properties. And that's essentially what Willie and I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a softball. Yeah, I would just choose new markets, and I would just, if I had to do one thing, it would just be choosing markets, downloading data, and that's it. And then we can get someone else to approve deals.
I mean,
So if you had 1 hour a week, it would 1 hour a week. It would just be choosing markets, pricing those markets. You don't even have to sort it and do anything. And that would be like a 20-minute a week business. You could make it happen, but reviewing deals is important too. That is
really important.
It's pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, let me put it this way: you make your money in this business on the buy, not so much the sell. If you buy it right, you buy it at the right price. Your money's made when you buy it right.
Yeah, so I mean, you could outsource everything else in that, but yeah, I agree. I mean, you should be reviewing the properties as well. It's hard to outsource those things. You could teach someone, but it might take a bit of a learning curve.
Next,
I
don't know who this is, but what are the top places you found deals before you built up your network? Mailers, Craigslist, cold calling. We don't have a network. I mean, we do have a network, but it's more so we just have sent out so much mail that we can just pick in different areas. But mailers. That is going to be the single most important investment that you can make in this business is blow a bunch of money on mail. It will just
you won't blow it. It's just going to be the ROI.
But don't be scared to spend money on mail because you will you just need one property to hit and you'll pay for a bunch of mailers. So I would say don't be cheap on mail.
Yeah, and so that was Jordan Horseman who said that.
Thank you for that question, Jordan. James O'Connor, what's the name of the mastermind group? The mastermind group is called the Collective Genius.
Yeah.
It's a really awesome group, but it's
if you join, let them know we referred you.
Yeah, just let them know we referred you, but they don't. You have to basically meet qualifications, and it's not cheap. So it's not just like an open mastermind. Anthony Walters, whose picture is CEO. I like that. It's like a millionaire thing, $1 million thing there. See that? For mailers, do you guys filter by sales date / years of ownership? I don't think we've ever looked at that. Have you?
No. I used to probably maybe for like one mailer, but I
wouldn't worry about it.
We do not. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just
let
everyone.
Let it rip. So the guy's first mailer, which was Jeremy Wayne Chapman, sending out 1,000 units. That's awesome.
All right. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Keep sending out the mail, and then good things happen. Good things happen when you send out mail. I should get a T-shirt that says that.
Are you going to send out some mail this week, by the way?
You mean the 7-minute mailer?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people out there promoting things like 7-minute abs, 6-minute abs, 9-minute abs. We a couple weeks ago figured out how to do a 7-minute mailer. Willie,
what market build list, price list?
What is a 7-minute mailer? Can you explain it?
Go on Zillow, find a hot market, choose the hot market on data tree, build the polygon, download the data. That's it. Price it, go back and build, price it, and then that's it.
Give it to the VA and they handle the rest.
Give it to the VA and they handle the rest.
We just say acre
start to finish, choosing a market to down with mailer 7 minutes.
Yeah, we have it down to 7 minutes. It's amazing. Here's a good one. I've had at least fun 3 deals for me. Super easy and highly recommend. So what this person is talking about is our deal funding program.
This is Keith.
It's who?
Keith Forshee.
Keith. Okay. I'm looking at our sheet. I don't see Keith on the sheet of people that have been funded. Yeah, so it's really simple. You just go to our website, landinvestingpros.com, click on the deal funding button, and if you have properties that you don't have money to pay for or you don't want to put your funds out, our partner will fund it for you. You get 60% of the profits, they get 40% of the profits, or vice versa, depending on details are on the website. Dusty C is down for deal partnering. Send Willie an email, please.
Awesome, Dusty. That's great.
Someone says, sorry, I'm late. I'm in class. I don't know who that is.
It's Akela Martin.
Hello, Akela.
Mike Novak's back on. What's up, guys? What's up, Mike?
Philip David, what percentage per 1,000 mailers would you say is a successful mail campaign?
I would put it on a profit basis because you could be sending out 1,000 units to properties that are $100,000 purchase price, selling them for $250,000 purchase for sale price, and you can get one of those, and you'd be like, "Wow, that was a great mailer." And you could buy 10 properties at $1,000 purchase price and sell them for $3,000, and that's not as good. So I would say on your margin, I mean, I don't even, to be honest, I have no clue what an average margin would be on 1,000 units for us. I mean, do you even have an estimate? Say it costs $500.
No, it just every mailer is dependent. I mean, if you price it right, if you're mailing an area, if you mail an area where no one ever mails, it's going to be different than mailing somewhere in California where everyone's mailing.
So I would say 1,000 units is around $500. Your gross profit, the profits that you should make should be tens of thousands of dollars on that if you're buying property, which you should be buying on a 1,000 unit mailer. Results may vary.
Willie, what's been your experience with commercial and industrial zone properties?
So we don't buy too many of these. We have bought some, and I do like them. I don't have much of an issue with them. It's not what we generally specialize in, and you could do very, very well. We mostly focus residential agricultural lots, but I have no issue with them. And the due diligence process might be a little bit different. You might need to look into environmental issues. Actually, probably not. If there was a structure built on it before, then maybe that's the issue, but probably not. So I don't have any issue with them. What do you think?
No, I mean that's something that I want to expand into more, and I guarantee you, there's not that many people mailing commercial and industrial zone lots.
Yeah, so definitely big opportunity.
Probably a lot less competition.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Probably got to pay up for those.
I like this. I like this one. This is all the class you need. You're damn right, Dusty. What percentage of your deals are self-closing, and what percentage through title?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
I'd say in terms of volume, probably still 80% self-closing. In terms of dollar value, probably more for title properties now. So yeah, I mean, we're still churning out high volume deals, self-closing, and our bigger deals, the ones that we're spending some real money on, are way higher prices. So that's how I would answer that.
That's fair. I like this. What jailhouse, they mean mail house, service do you use to send out your mail? How much per unit? We use letterprinting.net, and I don't know what our price is.
Yeah. So if you go to letterprinting.net, I think they charge around 50, 55 cents in that range per unit.
Jim Spinoza, just did my first mailer, currently looking like I'll make 30 grand on 1,300 units. There
it is. So there's your numbers for a 1,000 unit mailer. So $500, $600 for a Jim, 30 grand profit. So that's just why the return on your mail is so stupid. It's so high relative to the cost. So that's great, Jim. That's great to hear.
Jordan Horseman. how hyper specific do you end up targeting a market? Do you target tax delinquent properties only, or just mail all the properties in the market? Well, we don't mail all the properties. We mail the vacant land within a polygon, and we don't really, we don't mess with. I mean, we don't really do the tax delinquent properties. We just do everything, because more people than not want to sell their land.
Yeah. So we are very specific on the geographic location we're hitting, and not going to hit, broadly speaking, the tax delinquent list, because it's harder to geo target areas. And from our perspective, the area is the single most important aspect of your mailer. Other courses, other land people suggest sending out to the tax delinquent list and blanketing full counties. That's just not how we operate. We're very data driven, and feel strongly the market is the single most important indicator of whether or not you're going to do well and be successful selling property. And so it is really, really crucial to only choose the hot markets.
Yeah. I think that's it for questions right now. But yeah, we got a pretty solid crew of people still on the call right now. So what do you, how do you want to wrap it up, Willie?
I got a nice deal for everyone. What do you think? You think I should hit him with it?
I think so. I mean, we weren't on live last week, and so everyone's here tonight, and I say, why not?
All right. So we've had a bunch more leads come through our CRM. So I know I've offered this in the past, and I'll offer it tonight, but this is not going to be a regular offer. So I am going to offer. So basically, what our CRM is, we send out tens of thousands of units of mail a month, and we get dozens, or I don't even know, hundreds. Hundreds of, is it maybe even thousands of people calling us a month? And people raising their hand saying, "Hey, I'm interested in selling my property, and you send me this offer at X price." And so here's my signed purchase agreement. How do we proceed with the sale? Now, Paul and I, we have a limited capacity, a limited amount of time, limited amount of resources. So we are not able to close all those deals. And so if you sign up to Land Investing Pros today, and you go to landinvestingpros.com, purchase the course, send me a screenshot at Willie, Willie, at landinvestingpros.com. Send me that screenshot. I will, again, I'm going to give 3 leads. So people who in markets that we've already vetted, markets that we know are good areas to invest. So you don't even need it. You could buy the course. You can get the leads without sending out mail, without spending the $500, $2,000 to send out mail. You will literally get leads of people in markets that we vetted today. If you purchase the course, send me a screenshot, Willie at landinvestingpros.com. So you're going to get that. And then not only that, I'm going to also add, I will review your first 3 property leads that you need help with on your due diligence. So you send out mail, you get some leads saying people are raising their hand and say, "Hey, I want to sell my property in this market that you chose." And then I will review them and tell you if you should buy them or not, or if you need to get them at a lower price, or if you should buy them, what price you should sell them at. And so you make sure that you are getting started off on the right foot. And yeah, so that's the offer. It's a
pretty good deal.
Nice boost. It's a nice boost, and I've offered, yeah. So the leads, that's certainly not going to be a normal offer, just because we like to keep our leads and we like to buy those properties, and so that's the offer today.
I like it. Yeah. So everyone, thanks for tuning in, and hit up Willie if you end up taking us up on that offer. We'd love to have you as students. We've had hundreds of successful students, and there's no reason that you shouldn't join as well.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining tonight.